And now we're bringing you in-depth coverage on a story you saw first on WPRI.com. 9 months into office, Providence Mayor Jorge Elorza is facing some backlash from the city council, and WPRI.com reporter Dan McGowan joins me now. I just asked Dan, when we talk about backlash, are we talking about one specific issue? And you told me, no, this is a number of different issues. Is this just growing pains? I mean, what's going on here?
Yeah, there's a little bit of growing pains in this. Any administration, whether it's the mayor's office, the governor's office, there's always going to be that initial first few months of problems. But what's a little bit different about this administration in Providence is that they're facing pretty big issues. So, of course, I've talked a million times now about the firefighter problem, and that's continuing, and we don't know when that's going to end. That's got a lot of money involved in it, and obviously very hostile just environment that's been created. What's happened more recently is the city learned that they've got a $5 million deficit, and so the council's very concerned about that problem.
Can you kind of expand on that? What's the bigger issue with the budget here?
Sure. So what's really the biggest issue is that only 2 or 3 months ago, the administration was saying they thought that the fiscal 15 budget, which ended on June 30th, was going to be balanced. And now 3 months later, they found out last week that it's going to be a $5 million deficit. What's really happening now is the council's questioning the administration's ability to manage the budget. And if they're clashing over budget problems, that's going to open up a whole host of other problems.
Yeah, obviously you want checks and balances between, but the last thing I think you'd want to hear as a resident of the city is that there's this much of an issue between the mayor and the city council. You've covered City Hall for several years now. Did you see this same kinds of issues with Providence Mayor Angel Taveras before Elorza?
It's a big difference. So under the Taveras administration from 2011 to 2014, I think that administration was much more hands-on with the council. They had a real strategy to kind of bear down, work with the council leadership, and really consolidate power. They were very close with various factions on the council. This administration, Mayor Elorza is kind of taking a sort of a hands-off approach. He's a big picture guy. He wants to solve, big picture issues in the city rather than focusing on individual council members. So they've kind of brushed off the criticism so far. The problem is that can only last for so long.
Yeah, the question is this going to get worse or is it going to get better?
Right, and it could get worse. So, we'll keep an eye on it. I'll be covering it every day. So.
All right, WPRI.com reporter Dan McGowan, thank you so much. And the coverage continues right now on WPRI.com. You can read Dan's complete report on the mayor's trials in office thus far.